was on your clothes, it was in your car, you'd be walking through it, breathing it in, everything was coated in dust. My lunchbox is still stained with it 8 years later. So I was working on a processing plant and I started in the crushing section and grinding section, which was extremely dusty. I didn't think much of it until I was extremely sick. I lost 30, almost 35 kilos in the span of 2 months. I've got pulmonary, non-pulmonary complex sarcoidosis. I got one with the lot. I'm very much you've got to accept the cards you've been dealt. I mean, what are you going to do? So I just sort of tried to enjoy myself as best I could. I was freshly diagnosed and I was just researching my disease and symptoms. I was just looking for what caused it, why, how, when and what I can do about it, and came across a blog written by Ross at Maurice, Blackburn. Yeah, so I gave Ross a call and it went from there.
I'll never forget the day that I got the call from Lonnie after he read my blog. I wrote the blog, to help people like Lonnie in his situation who experienced workplace exposure and developed a condition like sarcoidosis. When Lonnie called me, he obviously explained to me the types of exposures that he had had in his work and also his debilitating symptoms. I just felt the urge and the need to help him. He's a young guy who'd been diagnosed with this debilitating condition and his symptoms were quite severe. Lonnie found himself in a situation where he was covered in dust and different types of chemicals every day due to his work. It wasn't that hard to look at the research and ascertain that he had a potential claim.
Ross dealt with me on the phone for 3.5 years, almost 4 now, back and forth with all the questions and work cover related, doctors, everything. It definitely took a lot of the pressure off. Honestly, just being able to get through all the work cover stuff and get to the end of it just so I can focus on my treatment and I don't have to stress about essentially selling everything I own to just afford to live while my partner works full time is, it's I guess a blessing in itself, right?
So people like Lonnie and a lot of our clients, are dealing with a lot when they face a diagnosis such as sarcoidosis. So our job really is to help them navigate the legal process with as much ease as possible. In Lonnie's case, we were able to, after getting his work cover claim accepted, get him the treatment that he really needed at a more specialised hospital, which has assisted him today to deal with his condition. When Lonnie called me, he had no idea that he may be entitled to compensation. And so that's why, I became a lawyer to help people that, face a devastating diagnosis and are unaware that they can tap into these compensation entitlements.
I can tell Ross cares. I mean, my treating doctors are now because of Ross. Like, if anything, even if this case didn't go through or anything, I still would have appreciated that. When it comes to this sort of situation, I absolutely would recommend Ross above and beyond. Yeah, I'm very impressed with how it all worked out. I've got the most improvement I have in 4 years in the last few months after Ross sorted it all out.